this for
I apologize for being late, super late with this review, but with a lot of days in between playoff weeks, of course, it gave me a little bit of time to chill and relax. So I decided to take that time to kind of relax before I finally give this belated recap of what was an amazing wild card weekend. It's been officially 4 days since wild card weekend ended, and I'm still elated over some of the results. I wrote my story on Vocal. 3 teams I wanted to win the Super Bowl, and 3 teams I don't. And all 3 of them were gone in wild card weekend. Tampa, Baltimore, Minnesota. Of course, Minnesota for obvious reasons. No matter how good that team is, they still manage to find ways to screw it up in the playoffs when it counted. They missed Drew Brees because Drew Brees is the only one incompetent enough to actually lose to Minnesota in the postseason. They scored that first touchdown, and the Giants took the lead and never looked back. The Giants ended up winning. A lot of people actually picked the Giants to win, maybe because of how suspect the Minnesota Vikings season was. They were 13-4, yet they had a point differential of -3. How's that possible? Well, a couple of losses, that'll do it. Of course, Tampa ended the wild card weekend with their loss to Dallas. Of course, I knew Dallas was going to be because Tampa was lethargic. Speaking of lethargic, though, Lamar. Oh my! I couldn't believe it. I mean, when he missed the first one, I went, dang, he only missed one. Then he missed the second one. I go, wait a minute, what's going on here? Then he missed the third one. He missed 4 extra points out of 5. I mean, how is that possible? How is that possible? But that happened. Now, that was the only thing. Now, the good thing is that was the only thing that went wrong for Dallas. That was the only negative they had, the missed extra points. They were still right on all cylinders, just beating the dog shit out of Tampa. And, of course, Baltimore. Baltimore's my main one. You would think it would be Tampa because the thought of Brady winning an 8th ring is just nauseating. But I would even take that over Baltimore winning. Baltimore didn't even deserve to be in the playoffs because they keep abusing and mistreating Lamar Jackson. And you have tone-deaf morons lambasting the guys for not showing up or joining the team. He's hurt. Okay, he's trying to stay healthy. You know, if he was white, they wouldn't be saying this. They would say, well, he's not there. He's injured. He's understandable because he just happens to have my pigment. They accuse him of being selfish and not caring about the team. Amazing, is it? It's 2023, and black quarterbacks still get unfairly criticized by racists. Idiots actually call him a running back, and Josh Allen plays the same way, and he's called a quarterback. Why is that? And they say this, and they criticize him, even though the fact remains the same. Lamar represents 90% of that offense. The other 10% is Tucker because they don't have anything else but those 2. That team is awful. Even the person who's worn this jersey hasn't been into Lamar. He doesn't have much around him. But Lamar is the only thing holding that team together. And like I said on social media, I've got 2 words for the Ravens: pay Lamar. If you don't, he'll go somewhere else, and you'll end up being the Chicago Bears, winning 3 games a season. Maybe, but anyway. So as for the other action, oh boy, the Chargers really fucked up, didn't they? It's crazy what happened in that game. I mean, that's the game I was looking forward to that Saturday. I mean, Seahawks Niners that win as expected. And I was looking forward to the Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence is his first playoff game. And it was a disaster for the start. 4 interceptions in the first half, a 27-0 deficit. And it was just crazy. It was just crazy what was happening. But then, all of a sudden, they started waking up. Started a little late in the second half. And then the points just kept coming. The Chargers had no answer. And it resulted in, I think it was the third biggest playoff comeback in NFL history. Yeah, 27 points. That's 2 points more than Super Bowl 51, because that was a 25-point lead. This was a 27-point lead. And it's amazing because Wildcard Weekend marked the observed 30th anniversary. The actual anniversary was on the 3rd, but it marked the observed 30th anniversary of the comeback, the 35-3 game. And we got another big comeback on Wildcard Weekend, and it was the Chargers who choked away its 27-0 lead. And pretty much everybody watching said Staley's got to go. He called some bad plays in that game, and he created this mess a week before because he, for some reason, in a game that had absolutely no meaning, decided to play his A squad, all of them, for the whole game, and that resulted in Mike Williams getting injured, and he didn't have him for the wild card game, so he was down a man. He could have been useful in that game. I mean, they went up 27-0 without him, but had they had him, they probably would have run up the score a bit. But yeah, and so yeah, Staley should have been. I agree, Staley should have been fired, but they fired everybody but him. So take it what you will. Pardon, but yeah, like I said, the Niners beat the Seahawks to kick off Wildcard Weekend, and another game I didn't that I had yet to mention was the Bills. The Bills, they had a devil of a time with the Dolphins. They really shouldn't have. They should have killed this team, but they were up 17-0. They let Miami back in it in the second quarter, but they were still up by 3 at half. But then Miami took their first lead. It became a back and forth game. Only reason why Buffalo won was because Miami messed up when they were trying to go for it on 4th and 1. I think they committed a delayed game? Yeah, because that play clock was running. It was crazy. So, yeah. So, it was a crazy wildcard weekend. And I'm looking forward to the divisional playoff weekend. We will see the Chiefs and Eagles finally play, because they had the byes. They had the number 1 seeds. I love the divisional playoff weekend because that's when the upsets happen. Yeah, the real big upsets tend to happen during the divisional playoff. The number 1 seeds that have that nice siesta, I've seen quite a few of them get knocked out. As a Packers fan, I can relate because we've been on both sides of it in back-to-back years. But we've been on both sides of it because remember, during our Super Bowl run, we were the number 6 seed, and in the divisional playoff, we took out the Falcons, who were the number 1 seed. We just blew them out. And then a year later, unfortunately, we were the number 1 seed in the NFC, but we ran to red hot Eli. So that was it. So yeah, it's an upset fiesta. It's an upset fiesta. Oh, and also 2010, that same year, we saw Mark Sanchez take out the top-seeded Brady Patriots. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some upsets in the divisional playoff weekend. Despite this though, my picks are in the AFC. I'm going with the Chiefs and the Bills, which means we'll get a neutral site AFC championship. And they did announce it before Wildcard Weekend. The AFC championship, if it's those two, the AFC championship, if it's Chiefs Bills, will be in Atlanta. It'll be in Atlanta. And but yeah, the Chiefs and Bills should win. They should win their games. And in the NFC, I think the Eagles should beat the Giants, but Dallas is beating the 49ers. Why? Because Jimmy G's not starting. Plain and simple. So, yeah, so that's the divisional playoff. And it starts with Jaguars Chiefs on Saturday, and it's followed by Giants and Eagles. On Sunday, it's Bills Bengals, followed by Cowboys Niners to main event the weekend. So that's my recap of Wild Card Weekend. If you like this video, click the like button, click subscribe. If you want more of my story about Wild Card Weekend on Vocal, is in the description below. Check it out when you can. I'll be back at an earlier time of the week because I won't be slagging off on this. I'll be back to recap the divisional playoff, which should be good. So enjoy that weekend and stay tuned.